What if the difference between a man women forget and a man women genuinely cannot stop thinking about comes down to just 2 words? Think about that for a second. Because here's what absolutely blows most guys' minds. It has nothing to do with the numbers in your bank account. Nothing to do with the sharpness of your jawline. Nothing to do with those ridiculous pickup lines you see recycled all over the internet. The truth is far more powerful and far more magnetic than that. There are 2 specific words that unlock something much deeper in how women actually respond to men. Something that triggers emotional connection points that most men don't even realize exist. Most guys will go their entire lives completely oblivious to this. I'm going to tell you exactly what these 2 words are. I'm going to show you the science behind why they work so powerfully. But here's the critical detail that almost nobody notices. It's the single hidden detail that separates the men women forget from the men they absolutely cannot stop thinking about. Stay with me all the way to the end because this fundamentally changes everything about how you communicate. Listen to me carefully. I've spent years obsessing over thousands of real interactions between men and women. And here's the reality that shocked me when I discovered it. The men who attract the most genuine attention aren't automatically the ones with the best genetics. They aren't the ones with the fattest bank accounts. They're the ones who mastered one deceptively simple skill that most men never even think about. It's called direct emotional communication. While most guys are caught in this exhausting loop, spinning their wheels in conversations that lead nowhere, constantly trying to please everyone, constantly terrified of saying something wrong, the men who actually stand out do something completely radical. They've learned to use 2 specific words that function like master keys to the female subconscious. These aren't tricks. This is pure psychology. Your brain is literally hardwired to respond to specific communication patterns. This is neuroscience. These 2 words, when you use them correctly, create what neuroscientists call positive emotional anchoring. It's real. It's measurable. So let's get into this because this is where it gets dangerous. The first word is I want. I know that sounds too simple. Maybe too simple. But watch what actually shifts the moment a man says I want with real clarity and unshakable confidence. In that moment, something fundamental happens. He's claiming complete ownership of his own desires. He's not begging for a seat at the table. He's not asking permission. He's not dipping his toe in the water to see if it's safe to swim. He's being direct and unapologetic. And here's the part about female psychology that men miss constantly. Women are deeply, genuinely attracted to men who actually know what they want. Why? Because it signals something primal. It signals leadership. It signals decisiveness. It signals that you are a man who can make a decision without needing someone else to help you choose. Think about the massive difference here. When you say, I don't know, maybe we could do something sometime if you feel like it, what are you actually communicating? You're screaming insecurity. You're broadcasting fear of rejection. You're showing a complete lack of direction. Now compare that to a man who looks her directly in the eye and says, I want to take you to dinner Saturday. There's this place I know. The food is incredible. Feel that difference. You're not pleading. You're not begging. You're leading. You're creating an actual experience. You're taking responsibility. This isn't aggression. This isn't being rude. This is pure assertiveness. This is having the courage to take up space in the world and declare what matters to you. When you do this, something shifts in her nervous system. You activate what's called sexual polarity in her mind. You position yourself as the masculine force that takes initiative, which naturally awakens the feminine part of her that wants to be led and cherished. But the second word is where the actual magic happens. This is the turning point. This is what separates everything. That word is I appreciate. Pay extremely close attention here because this is the part that changes everything. If you only use I want, there's a real risk. You could come across as completely self-centered. Like the only thing you care about is getting something from the interaction. You're only taking. But the moment you combine I want with I appreciate, something shifts. You create perfect balance. You show you're a man of real initiative, yes, but also a man with genuine emotional depth. Let me show you exactly how this works in real life. You're talking to a woman you're genuinely interested in. Instead of just saying, I want to see you again, you shift the entire energy. You say, I want to see you again because I really appreciate the way your mind works. These conversations with you have a depth that's almost impossible to find. Do you see what just happened there? You're not just broadcasting desire. You're showing her you actually see her. You value who she is beyond the surface. You value her essence. That is absolutely irresistible. Why? Because most men live and die on the surface. They compliment her appearance. They focus on her looks. They focus on her body. They go no deeper. But you're going deeper. You're honoring her actual self. You're acknowledging her intelligence. You're acknowledging her depth. And here's the most powerful part that most people miss completely. When you appreciate someone genuinely, you're not being needy. You're not desperate. You're choosing. You're selecting her from everyone else. And women can feel that distinction from 1,000 miles away. They know the difference between a man who needs them and a man who wants them. But there's one critical mistake that destroys all of this. It demolishes everything. That mistake is using these words without congruence. Congruence is when your body language, your tone of voice, and your words are all telling the exact same story. They're aligned. When they're not aligned, everything falls apart. If you stand there telling her, "I want to take you to dinner," but your shoulders are caved inward, you're staring at the ground. Your voice is shaky and uncertain. You're looking away. The entire message collapses. It shatters. Your entire body is screaming insecurity and fear, while your words are trying to broadcast confidence. There's a war happening inside you, and she can feel it. The female brain is ruthlessly attuned to this. It's like she has an emotional lie detector built into her nervous system. She picks up on every incongruence. She feels the mismatch. So when you say "I want," your shoulders go back. You're meeting her eyes. Your chest is open and present. You're claiming space. When you say "I appreciate," you pause. You slow down the rhythm of your speech. You let your voice carry the sincerity. You give the moment the weight it deserves. You're not rushing. This is what real communication looks like. Here's why timing matters. You're not going to walk around saying "I want" and "I appreciate" in every single conversation like some kind of robot. That would destroy the power. That would make it weird. You deploy these words strategically. In moments when you actually want to establish clear intent. In moments when you want to create an emotional memory that sticks with her forever. Picture this scenario. The date was genuinely special. There was real connection. As you're leaving, you look at her directly. You slow down. You say, "I want to do this again. I really appreciate the energy you bring." That's it. You just embedded a positive emotional anchor. You just created a moment she won't forget. Now, every single time her mind drifts toward you, every time she thinks about you, she'll remember that exact feeling. The sensation of being truly seen, the sensation of being valued, the sensation of being genuinely desired all at once. That's power. That's real power. This is what separates men who are forgotten from men who are unforgettable. It's not your face. It's not your money. It's your ability to make a woman feel like she matters, like her mind matters, like her essence matters. It's your courage to be direct about what you want, while simultaneously showing her that you see her, that you value her, that you're choosing her. If this is hitting home for you, if you feel something shifting in how you understand this, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Every single week, I'm uploading content that gives you an actual unfair advantage in how you approach attraction and relationships. But more importantly, use what you've learned here. Use these words with wisdom. Use them with integrity. Use them with authenticity. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to be real. You just have to mean what you say. You just have to show up as someone who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to go after it. The power is yours now. What you do with it is up to you.